Eli Stokols is a reporter for Politico, and he was at a Trump event where he was campaigning in Florida, and listen to what happened. So he was going on and on about healthcare, and Eli tweets the following about what Trump ended up saying. Quote, "Classic Trump, claiming his employees are having tremendous problems with Obamacare and claiming credit for providing them with health care." Only Donald Trump. So, for those of you who don't understand the issue here, that's impossible. He just contradicted himself. So when you talk about Obamacare, there's the Medicaid expansion, which is one part of it, and only some states have that because Republican governors said we're not going to accept it in other states. But there's the Medicaid expansion, and then there's the exchanges. Now, the exchanges, that's individuals go on the exchanges. If they don't get health care through their business or if they're unemployed, they go on the exchanges, and if you make less than about $50,000 a year, you get a subsidy. For, if you fall between the line for Medicaid and about $50,000 a year, you go on the exchanges, you purchase your health care, and you get a subsidy from the federal government. So, in other words, kind of like I just alluded to here, either you get, health insurance through your business, through, your job, and basically the owner would make a deal with a commercial insurance industry, and you'd get it that way, or you'd go on the Obamacare exchanges, and you'd get it that way. That it's not a thing to say, oh, all my workers, tremendous, they're on Obamacare, they're having tremendous problems, and I'm a tremendous owner and boss. I mean, I provide all of my people with healthcare. That's what I do. So I'm just telling you. Believe me. Let me just tell you. I just have to tell you. Don, it's one or the other. It's not both. But then that's the thing about Donald Trump, man. He's just talking. He's just fucking talking. Every time during the primary, for example, when he stumbled on a correct strategy that pummeled the face-in of Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush and Ted Cruz, that's it. He stumbled on it. He stumbled on it. It wasn't like, oh man, let me sit down with my advisors and we're going to figure out exactly what it is and what direction we have to go in and the way we craft our arguments in order to do well. No, he's up there and he's a fucking stream of consciousness. And you notice that super duper clearly at some points where you're like, oh shit, he's winging it. Oh, he's winging it. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Remember the interview with Morning Joe where they asked him, what foreign policy advisor are you listening to? He's like, well, first of all, I'm listening to myself because I have a great brain and I've said many things. That's a quote. That's what he said. So in moments like that and in moments like this, you go, oh, shit, he has no clue what he's doing. Guys, he doesn't know what Obamacare is. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I saying that Marco Rubio knows what it is? I'd be surprised if he does know what it is. I think Jeb probably knows what it is. Ted, it's a coin flip. So I'm not saying he's way worse than, a lot of the other Republicans, but he definitely doesn't know what it is. Because that you easily would have caught yourself in that before you said something like this, because this is just only somebody who doesn't know what Obamacare is would say something like this. And by the way, it was the same thing during the debate. I was live tweeting it at the time in the third debate, I think it was, or it might have been the second debate, where Trump said something about how he would expand Medicaid instead of doing Obamacare. And nobody else caught it, but I'm looking around, I'm like, dude, that is part of Obamacare. He's like, oh, Obamacare's terrible, we got to repeal it. And we got to replace it with other things. So what I'd replace it with is maybe expanding Medicaid a little bit. That is Obamacare. You're saying let's repeal Obamacare and replace it with Obamacare. Let's get rid of the lines around the states. By the way, the Republicans push that idea as if it's some sort of revolutionary idea. It's not. All that'll happen is you'll have all the health insurance companies go to whatever state offers them the lowest tax rate and all set up camp there and sell insurance to everybody in the country there and just make more profit because they can pay a lower tax rate. That's all that does. This idea that it improves care or coverage at all, it doesn't. It just doesn't. So he's a goofball. He's a goofball. And let me also ask this. Forget Donald Trump knowing it because he doesn't know it, but how many other Republicans do you think know that Obamacare is actually originally a right-wing proposal? Put the over-under at 1, maybe 2, because Richard Nixon proposed the original framework for it. What's called the individual mandate system. In other words, you mandate people buy private health insurance on this marketplace. That was Richard Nixon's idea. Bob Dole proposed a similar idea when he ran. The Heritage Foundation, which is a right-wing think tank, wrote policy papers about how, hey, this is our alternative to the liberal idea, of course, being single-payer healthcare. So Chuck Grassley, Newt Gingrich, these are deep Republicans. They supported it back in the 90s. Individual mandate, in other words, Obamacare. Now, all of a sudden, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever, and we got to repeal and replace it with a right-wing idea. What are you talking about? That is a right-wing idea. That is the right-wing idea. What other fucking idea is there? Go back to a totally free-for-all anarcho-capitalist marketplace, which gave us the problems we had before, and what? Just get rid of the lines around the states. I just told you that doesn't do dick, and that's it. So go back to the even worse scenario. The solution is what the problem was before to these morons. And now we know, I mean, we kind of knew before, but now we know for sure, Trump's got no clue what Obamacare is. So they're going to say, repeal and replace Obamacare. He can't even tell you what it is, but he just goes out there and does the talking point like a moron. Repeal and replace. Repeal. These guys are like parrots. Repeal and replace. Repeal and replace. Repeal and replace. What does that mean? I don't know. What is Obamacare? I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. Okay, then shut the fuck up about it because you don't know dick.